you never heard of. Hey everybody, welcome to the Common Folk Podcast with Ben, Morgan, and Andy.
All right, welcome back to Common Folk.
The Common Folk Podcast. The podcast by the people, for the people. We're people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there we go.
that's right.
Is that the tagline we didn't ever come up with?
Maybe that's our tagline. We don't need a tagline. We're so common folk.
I thought we did have one at one time, but
I think we were brainstorming and never came up with like a set one because you're good at that. Andy, you got good one-liners. I don't at all.
Yeah. and it is all about marketing. We probably should come up with one. Put it on a T-shirt. If we could find a guy to make T-shirt and maybe do some embroidery or
Yeah.
something.
somebody could do
I
that.
don't know
Yeah.
where we'd find those people.
Right. So anyway, let's kick it off today with a little product here that we
Okay.
got sent.
Okay.
So what do you like? I got 3 flavors. You got original, honey, and jalapeno. Which one you want, Andy?
Honey.
Honey. Okay.
Andy's not the hot guy.
Which one?
Like he doesn't like the hot stuff, remember?
Right.
I want original.
I'm the hot guy.
I know. I mean in both senses.
Right, yeah.
Oh.
So anyway, what we got here is we wanted to do a quick little taste test to kick this one off by Dakota Pure Bison. And these guys are America's meat,
America's meat.
100%.
I like
Original. Original.
Yep.
You know, what do you think about?
So up there in South Dakota, Dakota Pure Bison, the website is dakotapurebison.com. So they sell direct-to-consumer meats from their own herd. They've been doing this for a while now. We've been working with these folks. Kind of got to know them a little bit. Worked directly with Scott up there, who runs the place with his wife, and I believe another family as well. But the bottom line is we've tried some of their meats in terms of like the steaks and the roasts and things like that.
Yes.
And I've had bison from a few different places, and I was originally just kind of like, man, you know, this, like, it's cool, you know, it's a bison, whatever, it's lean, but I'll take this cattle any day. When I got theirs, I was like, wow, this is definitely a compliment to our meals. Like, I would love, like, we'll grill out and we'll do beef steaks and bison steaks.
Okay.
And if we do that, I'm normally eating the bison one from them.
Oh, wow.
It's awesome.
Okay.
But to add to that, they started doing these meat sticks. So they sent us a few to try, and just wanted to give them a shot. Like these snack things, we've done this before. We've tried some different meats, but this stuff's always handy to have around. I mean, you can use it all the time.
Yeah.
This time of year, lots of farmers are out planting, spending a lot of time out in the field, needing snacks. This is perfect for that. If you're on the road, wherever the case may be, there's a lot of scenarios.
Yeah. And you get 2 of them. I mean, how long is this?
Well, these packages are 2-ounce packages. These are probably,
8 inches?
Yeah, 7, 8-inch sticks. A couple of them in the
Get
package.
2 of them. Ladies, I mean, 40 calories a stick. That's bomb.
I
So
took a bite of mine, and it's delicious.
The flavor is awesome. So let's tear this one open. So you got the honey.
100% bison meat, so it's not like a blend where they're throwing in
Right.
pig, kangaroo, and a little bit of bison. Okay.
Exactly. So I've got the jalapeno.
Yep, original. That's good. Really good. Like, way better than any other stick you'd get at the gas station. I mean, there's no weird pole or, I don't know.
Yeah.
How do you describe it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the texture's awesome. You know, they're sticks, so you've kind of got a casing. And
But it's not
there's
super
no,
hard.
yeah, it's not chewy.
Yeah.
It breaks easy.
Yep, and a lot of wild game or
I was
even
gonna say,
bison
you would-
kind of is chewy.
Yeah, is
Yeah.
it? Okay.
Mine's not. This is great.
This one isn't
No,
at
but I
all,
mean,
yeah.
like, haven't you done
Oh, yeah.
some sticks, like from
Sticks
your
like-
deer or like, I don't know.
Yeah, sticks like this. And yes, we've done that before, processing our deer. But this is a staple of mine at every gas station. When I go in,
For sure.
like
Yeah.
everybody expects me to bring back a stick for them too. You know, otherwise it's just not worth it. I don't want to get yelled at by Kimber. I don't want to get yelled at by Kimber. Now Will is.
Oh, really?
Oh my God.
It's like a thing. Dad's going to get a meat stick.
It is. If I go in there after paying for gas or whatever, I better come out with a stick for everybody.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, these, I mean, anything like Morgan said, I do the same thing. I get them from gas station all the time. And I honestly think that there's nothing in the gas station that compares to this.
I want to try your jalapeno.
Now, this is pretty darn good. Out of Wood, South Dakota.
There you go. Yep. The so as I said, I've got the jalapeno. The jalapeno flavor is very mild. Like it is not.
Oh, Andy, you could totally have that.
It's not hot at all.
Yeah.
Like
not at all.
You don't like hot stuff?
It's
No.
just a tiny.
I mean,
There's
I
a
can
tiny
do it,
kick
and
at the
I'll
end.
do it, but all right.
You may then think it's a tiny bit then.
I'll try it.
Okay, I want to try your honey though.
It's really darn good.
Okay.
So this particular
is original.
one, like I said, it's
Okay,
not
thanks.
it's not hot at all, but the jalapeno is there. The flavors are just, I don't know, they're right on to me, and the texture's great.
I like the honey. You haven't
By
tried
the
that
way,
yet.
these are 15 grams of protein per stick, it looks like.
Do you think that's hot? Like for someone that does not like hot?
No, I can do this.
2 sticks?
Nah, I mean, if I'm having a beer,
There you
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
That honey one's great.
I think so.
Okay,
too.
so this is not something obviously that's in the store. So where people are going to go to their website and order. Did you ordered?
Like I said, yeah, I mean, you have to order from their website, so DakotaPureBison.com.
But I mean, price tag, like, is it pricey? Like, is this comparable? I mean, if we're talking about it, how
Well-
many do you get in a box?
Yeah, so, if we just pull this up real quick, you get, like, the smallest is 6 packages. This is these meat sticks
Oh, okay.
for $69. So $10, a little over $10 per package. These packages that they have on the website are 4-ounce packages. So it's going to be 4 sticks per package.
Oh, okay. Not 2.
And let me see if they have, I don't know if the 2-ounce ones are trials or what, but anyway, people can find that on there. There's a lot of options as far as all those flavors go. There's a sampler pack. And then they do have some free shipping options on the website as well. It says on top, free shipping on all meat orders. So, that's going to be super helpful. And in general, when you're dealing with bison or elk or game or whatever, it always costs a little more than, your standard beef stick or whatever's even in that, if it is even beef.
Yep.
Probably more like a little bit of pork or whatever, but it's well worth it, man. These are way better. Real happy with it.
So good.
They're on Facebook and Instagram. Looks like if you just search Dakota Pure Bison, you're going to find them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
awesome.
Highly
It's
recommend them.
America's meat.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Dakota Pure Bison. Looking forward to getting some more of that stuff for sure. So, moving on, today, early on when we started the podcast, so it would have been like a little over a year ago, we did kind of a fun little episode on some like old TV shows, old movies and stuff like that.
Comparing them from when we started watching TV to what it is today.
Yeah, and we kind of want to revisit that because some things have changed a little bit. Some of this new stuff that's coming out is kind of crazy.
Has?
Yeah, even in just a year's time.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
And the whole YouTube thing and all that. So, I don't know how you want to kick it off, Andy.
Well, you're talking about the timeline. That was about 30,000 downloads again on the Common Folk podcast.
Oh, wow.
We got about 125 subscribers or followers that do automatic downloads. So thank you to all those guys.
For sure.
It's been quite a ride. It's been a lot of fun. And I just like meeting people too.
Yeah.
When we have the guests on, whoever. Corey Jones. I mean, he's a local guy that I never would have ran into.
Yeah.
Without having this podcast. So that's part of the fun. Anyway, for me.
I'll, real quick there, when you're talking about that, I'll give a quick shout out. There's a gentleman by the name of Damon Barr. He's in Nebraska, out towards Lincoln, Waverly maybe. But he's been a listener to the show since the beginning. and he's reached out to us a couple of times. But I actually met him the other day
Really?
at a trap shoot. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so he's got some kids shooting. He came up and introduced himself. We talked for a while. And then we actually, the podcast, did a sponsorship for their trap team. I can't remember what team it was. It might have been like Southeast. But either way, we did a sponsorship for them to help the team raise money. Mm-hmm. And that just finished up, so we're shooting them a gift card. And that's worked pretty well, but it was cool to meet him. So... Northeast, I think. Sorry. But shout out to Damon. Thanks for listening, man.
Awesome. Thank you, Damon.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. No, so anyway, just to kind of follow up with, or revisit that topic, because, I'm right in the middle of it with a 2-year-old, 4-year-old, and a 6-year-old boy.
Yes.
7-year-old now. So cartoons makes up a big portion of the TV time
Right.
Yeah.
at my household. And you see all this stuff and you read about in the headlines, go woke, go broke. Mm-hmm. And there's been a couple flops recently from Disney where they're trying to push a narrative. They're trying to sexualize Buzz Lightyear. That was a huge flop.
Oh, yeah.
When they rebooted that.
Yes.
That was a huge flop. Lost a lot of money on that one. And it's amazing how Disney turns around and then blames it on their audience, on the viewers, the people that buy Mickey Mouse toys, the people that go to Disney World, and trying to call those folks intolerant. And it's like, no, I don't think parents are being intolerant. They just don't want you to sell sex to kids.
Yeah.
It's just something that, why do we have to go there? Why can't this just be a fun little story about toys that come to life that go on an adventure?
I feel like it's like some of that has always kind of been there in one way or another with certain things, not all of them.
Sure.
But it's just so much more blatant today.
Right. Just in your face.
Yeah. Like if you remember, I don't know if you guys ever ran into this, but like the Disney movies that we grew up watching, like the animated movies, they'd have been the ones that were like actually like hand drawn movies, not computer graphics or whatever.
Right.
You could probably go and Google it right now and find all the sexual innuendos in those
Yes,
movies.
I think someone had put a reel together. It was like, oh, there's the dick in the clouds. There's the,
Right.
all the, yeah.
And I went back, I was probably, I don't know, at the time, maybe 15, 16 years old, something like that, when I realized that was going on. Like I saw maybe a story on it or people were talking about it or whatever.
Right.
And I went back to some of the movies that we had. It actually might have even been before that because it was VHS.
Okay.
So I'd pop those movies in.
Yeah.
And then
And you're trying to
I'd
find
like
it?
fast forward or rewind to the
Right.
parts they were talking about. And sure enough, there it was.
I know one that you're probably thinking of.
Which one?
It was in Lion King. And when Simba and I believe Nala, right?
Yeah.
When they refound each other, reconnected, and they were kind of playing with each other, he like kind of tackled her onto the ground, and the little poof of dust spelled the word sex.
Yeah.
And then she threw the bedroom eyes at him. There's no mistaking that. Like, even as a little boy, like, oh, it's business time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like that movie, that one in particular, I remember seeing that. I probably watched the movie 30, 40 times and never picked up on that.
No.
But then as far as that word, when that word was in the dust.
Sure.
But then after someone came out and was talking about it, I went back and like fast forward to that part and rewind, watch.
Yeah.
Yep, there it is, right there.
So you're saying, I think that's so true. It was so subtle, or were we just like stupid and naive back then?
I also think you had a freedom as like those animators and those guys. They could kind of play tricks like that.
They totally did that.
I feel like that was just for fun.
I agree.
And especially I think, and I'm not sure on this one, but the original movie poster for The Little Mermaid, like the castle,
Yes.
had like 2 or 3 dicks.
Yes. I loved that movie, so I know what you're talking about. Absolutely.
But I heard like the person, the animator or whoever made that poster knew they were going to get fired, so they just said, hell with it. This is going to be my little fun little kick in the pants on my way out the door.
But someone could have said no or taken that out. You know what I mean?
They
it's
have.
like,
You can't find that on,
oh, you can't anymore.
Disney licensed stuff that has come out since they've like, oh yeah, that is a penis, that castle. It's no longer.
It's gone.
But if you got that old VHS, in those big old plastic white boxes, you can still check it out, and there's like no mistaking, like, oh my God, that's just a straight up dildo.
Yeah.
There we go.
So we're talking about that, and then honestly, not to deviate from movies, but like just saw a clip real quick that totally going to throw CVS under the bus if anyone else saw that. Walgreens, CVS, whatever, they have like just a small section of kids' toys. Oh, after the 40 aisles that are in the store, they decide to put all the kids' toys next to the condoms, the lube.
Oh, really?
The vibrators. Yeah, literally side by side. Okay, that's not coincidence.
You don't think so?
No. They have aisles that someone high up in the company has decided where things are going to be placed. Could you not put it next to the paper towels or the toilet paper? But you got to put it next to the sexual stuff. It's Barbie next to, I'll literally show you a clip.
Wow.
It's
that
disgusting.
CVS?
Yeah.
Huh.
Anyway, so that's how we're coming. So if we're talking about shows, it's going to be way in your face more, don't you think?
Oh, of course. And that's where kind of we've been with it, my wife and I, and we're constantly kind of searching for good stuff because
have you caught your kids watching anything that you thought was fine?
There's
that kind of rubs you wrong. Not that you're trying to shelter them from everything either.
No, but what really rubs me wrong, and Ashley, and it turns their attitude just upside down, and they turn into little grouches, and they can't, and they're irritable, and everything else is when you just allow them to get on YouTube, even if it's on YouTube Kids, and just watch people play with toys or watch somebody do a video game and then talk about it. Like, there's a lot of channels that adults do this, just zone out and watch this stuff. But there is a difference in Ozzy's attitude when he watches that for 5-10 minutes, a half an hour of just mindless, whatever you want to call it. I mean, nothing's going on. People playing with toys. I'm like, why don't you just go outside and play toys? And then the argument, you don't play professional baseball. Why do you watch other people? Like, that is such a weak argument, isn't it?
Yeah.
That entertains you. This entertains me. Yeah, but what are you getting out of this? You know what I mean? Like, there's no experience to it. There's no thought to it. You're just like killing a kid's imagination. And in the process, and there's been plenty of studies done that actually corroborate with what I'm saying, that yes, it does have a negative impact on his mind, on where he's at, and to pull himself out of it. So, we try to limit that and find, good programming. And a show that came up a couple of years ago that Ashley's, all of her coworkers and teachers thought was pretty good as well, is one that's on Disney Plus, and it's called Bluey. And it's based out of Australia, and it's actually animators from Australia that created this cartoon, and now Bluey's blown up. There's Bluey toys in Target and Walmart, everywhere that you can think of. And it's a cute little cartoon, nothing over the top, but it's just a little family of blue healers, a mom, a dad, and 2 little girls. And they go on adventures like, it's vacation day. We're going to the beach. Oh no, I forgot my bucket and
shovel.
Yeah, and so then they tackle adventures like that. And the dad, he's come under a lot of attack because he's not just a big doof. He's not a big clumsy idiot. Like most father figures are. Or like, I always got this from old Disney movies. The dad's always a grouch. He's mean.
Yeah.
Total grump and like yelling or bad attitude.
Like, think of Peter Pan even. Like, the dad's just always a dick. And then mom comes in like, oh, he doesn't mean it. He doesn't mean it. I think that's a direct correlation between the animator's dad saying like, get a real job, quit drawing, quit doodling. That's how I read that, so I wasn't offended by it. But Bluey's dad, he puts a lot of pressure on me because he's so interactive. He's always playing with
his
kid.
So he's making you step it up.
He is. He is.
I better watch Bluey, Ben.
And when
I guess so.
You should.
Sure.
No kidding.
Joel would love that.
Yeah.
We haven't watched cartoons at our house for a while, except Simpsons.
Well, yeah.
And then
and Simpsons, that's a whole other
That's a whole nother
institution,
episode.
but
Yeah.
they're under attack too for a number of reasons. But Bluey has actually come under attack, and it's been for a while now. And I feel that it's just because it's just wholesome fun. There's nothing to it.
Because there's not enough drama, there's not enough crap.
Well, here,
So what are they saying? Like, what's the argument here?
one of the first attacks was a journalist actually from Australia named Beverly Lang. She's a journalist for ABC, Australia Broadcasting Corporation. And she opens it up with, I've learned a lot from Bluey, but can the show be more representative?
Okay.
That's the headline to this.
Representative.
So I'll just read this real quick here. As a parent of color, I'm always conscious of the presence or absence of diverse representation in kids' pop culture, what it means for children, and the conversations we have around it. Where are the disabled, queer, poor, gender diverse? This is the article. I'm not making this up. Where are the disabled, queer, poor, gender diverse dogs of color and single parent dog families in Bluey's Brisbane? This is in Brisbane, Australia. Also, just looked it up. We got listeners in Brisbane.
Oh, nice.
Shout out Brisbane.
And they created the cartoon there,
Yep.
huh?
And this is where the dogs live, is in Brisbane.
That's awesome.
If they're in the background, let them come forward.
Oh my God, you cannot. Come on.
They're in the background.
First off, I think one thing that really ticks off the left and the far side on this, they want kids to be representative, right? They need a character in this and that, a gay one, a one in a wheelchair. Well, this isn't about that. This isn't trying to make a statement. This isn't trying to include everybody. It does in its own way. It allows children to actually use their imagination and go to this place in Brisbane and be part of this fun dog family. And for starters, all the dogs are different colors.
Yeah,
That's
so
what I
there
was
you
just
go.
gonna get. I just pulled
He
it
has-
up
yeah.
on my computer, and like the cover of the show itself is, it looks like it's probably the dad is blue, and then one of the kids is blue,
That's
and the
Bluey.
mom is brown, and one of the kids is brown.
Bingo.
And
the
I
little
see
sister.
a bird in there. So just saying they like other species too.
And there's all sorts of different breeds of dogs. There's a poodle character. Like, I don't know all the characters. I've watched a few of these episodes, but like, I don't know all their names and everything.
Oh yeah, I see a Dalmatian.
yeah.
There's
I mean,
a black
come
dog. There's a
on.
yellow dog.
But by boxing
Jeez.
a kid in and saying, like, okay, there's your character, you need to identify as that. You're not allowing for growth to create, imagination, allowing the kid to actually just kind of figure out their own way. And also to just be entertained.
Right.
What's wrong with that?
I think that's what a lot of people don't realize. Like, if you sit down and talk to a kid, if you were to talk to them about this show, they don't even see any of that. You know what I mean? Like, they're not thinking like, oh my gosh, a blue dog is married to a brown dog, and oh, this is so special,
Yeah.
and I feel so great about this. They don't care about that. That's not
No.
even on their radar. They just enjoy, like you said, the entertainment, the a being treating another being right, or whatever, the things they learn from it, those kinds of things.
They're asking Dad to play hide and seek. He's saying, after I change the car oil, after I get
Yeah.
done with my job, then I'll play, hide and seek with you. All right, I'll take it off. I'll play hide and seek now. That's what kind of a champion father that
And I think,
Yeah.
is.
people like that one that wrote that article you were talking about. I think what their argument would be is that, well, you're subliminally influencing them. You're not exposing them to enough of this or that or whatever. But I don't think that's the case. That's not the intent of these kinds of things. And I don't think the kids are having any kind of negative influence from something like this.
And why does there have to be an intent? Why can't
Right,
the
for
intent
sure,
be
yeah.
for enjoyment? It's a cartoon.
And not only that, what I can't stand is when people say stuff like that, but then they want all of those other little things in there to
Influence.
yes.
Yeah.
So it's like, what do you want to influence or do you not?
Yeah.
Like I don't get it.
We can straight up influence one way. I did see a little article where Bluey actually had to be edited. Episode came out, and I think it was in like the opening couple of minutes. Bluey's dad stepped on a weigh scale and grabbed his tummy and goes, "Oh, I need to exercise more."
What's wrong with that?
Oh my God.
Andy,
Body shaming like that?
Seriously?
Are you kidding me?
Jeez.
it's a guy and he's getting a belly.
They
Yeah,
had to
go work out.
They had to remove that clip.
Oh,
Because I
Lord.
mean, oh my God, yeah, you can if you get online and just search that on whatever you want, Facebook.
I mean, it's like you
YouTube.
can't do anything anymore. Is what
can't-
I feel like.
You can, as long as it's the right message, like you were saying, Ben.
Right.
As long as you're, trying to influence in this way and take away people's limit their imagination, put them in a box, make sure you're either black, white, straight, or gay. Then we can argue. Then we don't have to be on the same side. We can't all just enjoy Bluey,
Yeah.
unless like I just feel like it's all about kind of a division type thing when you really get
It
to
is,
it.
yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And just like the flop with Buzz Lightyear and Lightyear the movie, where they pushed, you could say an over-the-top kind of a gay agenda.
Yeah.
It's not that conservative families or parents with just little kids are against gay culture, this, that, LGBTQ++. They just don't want kids to be sexualized in their entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing.
Yes. Right. They're gonna get it in the real world.
At
They're gonna
CVS.
see it. Yep. Exactly. They're gonna see it at CVS. They don't need to sit and watch it as a family together. Like, I don't know.
What was your favorite cartoon growing up, Morgan? Adventures of She-Ra, the spinoff of He-Man?
No.
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 Care
I don't know.
Bears.
We didn't. I don't know. I think I've said like Rescue Rangers and DuckTales and stuff like that, but I don't really remember like loving a ton of cartoons. I mean, we had them on for sure. Like Bernstein Bears and
Okay.
like
Yep.
things like that.
Yep.
I think that were on, or like PBS, which
Oh.
is still good TV.
Yeah.
Do your kids watch that?
There are a couple of shows on there. Daniel Tiger, the
Oh, yeah.
relaunch of
Yeah.
Mr. Rogers. I think
Okay.
that's pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
Cleverly done, to
See, we
connect
still
with
have
kids.
like
Yeah.
rabbit ears at home.
Nothing wrong
So
with that.
we can like pull up some TV.
There you go.
I'm always like, put the real TV on. And you know
That's
what
the
that
real
means?
TV.
Like that means the real TV.
Something
like,
that's not
no
streaming?
internet, no streaming. Just go to the Real Guide channel.
Okay.
And there's always Iowa,
Mm-hmm.
PBS and stuff like that on.
Yeah.
But
I think, to go back to what you're talking about with like Buzz Lightyear and those kinds of things, I think what a lot of these places are finding out is that, you can do whatever you want. Like, go ahead and do that. But people are going to make the choice whether they want to watch it or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you talk about the Bluey one. I don't think there's anybody that would look at that and go, I don't know that my kid should be watching this.
Not at all.
yeah.
You take something like the Buzz Lightyear with the innuendos and all that's going on. Responsible parents are going to look at that and go, this is a conversation I need to have with my kid. You know what I mean? So all they're really doing is just hurting themselves. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't see how that's helping anything.
I mean, it's like it's a tagline that has really caught fire. Go woke, go broke. Ask Bud Light.
Oh, man.
You know about that?
That's still a thing.
It's still a very big thing. And
I actually thought that would boil over pretty quick.
I did too.
So we even talked about this.
I can't believe it's gone on as long as it has.
Because normally things get pushed under the rug instantly.
And not that it's I'm not saying what side I'm on or not. That's not what I'm saying by this. I mean, I will tell you, like, I think that was a dumb move. I don't think they should have
Yeah.
done that.
Right.
I don't support that. But I've said
Yeah.
this before. The reason I don't support it is because they have yet to put a real woman and celebrate her on a can.
right.
But it's okay to have a guy woman on the can. You know what I mean? Like, that's the problem that I have with it.
Right.
But do what you want to do.
Yeah.
But I was sure that this was going to blow over very quick. Like, people forget so easily.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I thought it was going to be gone within a matter of weeks, but it's still going.
And then Miller was actually following suit. They had their own woke campaign, and then they saw that and they pulled the brakes like,
They
stop,
did?
stop it. But it leaked. This
Oh.
commercial leaked out on YouTube on there, and they delisted it and everything.
Oh, man.
And it didn't
It's
matter.
still out there?
Yeah, people got a hold of it. Make your own decisions about that, I guess. But
So now we have to go look and see for Miller.
Miller Lite, oh my God. And all they had to do is just not say anything. And I think they knew that, but they already had this commercial made, and it was a high-flying, well-known female activist, strong, independent, powerful woman that was the spokesperson in this commercial. It's pretty bad.
Well, and if it was it biological woman?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's
The star of Broad City. And
not sure.
that whole show is just about sex and this and that and everything else, and kind of a bum character.
Well, she's a biological woman. Then
Yeah.
that's not horrible.
it's just
well,
that she was being pretty controversial or something.
Yeah, well,
okay.
So the whole basis it's called good shit to bad shit to good shit, and they're embarrassed of how in the 80s women were sexualized on ads. So they're taking old Miller Lite posters and Coors Light and Bud Light posters too, where women were just being objectified in bikinis, sprawled out on the front of a Mustang convertible, whatever. And they're taking those old posters and they're turning them into compost and growing hops with it. So they're taking the bad
Oh,
shit, turning
my
it into
God.
good shit. Just over the top. And it's the opening scenes of this commercial is her talking about how women were actually among the first brewers in the world, dating all the way back to Mesopotamian times. It's like, well, of course you were. You're over half the population. You know, of course women
Okay,
had
so
a hand in
it
brewing.
almost is like a different agenda, just crazy woman power.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Over the top, and it's like, man, I don't know. Like, those are ads from the '80s, a different time. So, like, how
Let
can
'em
you
be.
how
Yeah.
can you virtue signal 30 years later? Like, that's wrong. You're on
Yeah.
the wrong side of history.
Yeah.
No, actually not. Think about OnlyFans. OnlyFans is great, right? And a strong, powerful woman. You should be able to just show whatever you want to whoever you want, however you want, and that's your, your poster is a lot more provocative than most of those Miller Lite posters. I'll tell you that. So that's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
But this isn't. Once again, we're getting back to that cartoon. We can influence people as long as it's, taking away an identity, limiting their, imagination. As long as we're doing that, it's okay.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah,
better stay in line.
People need to go back to like what the intent of these things are. So you talk about these cartoons. It's for entertainment value. There's some teachings going on there.
Yes.
Some very good learnings as far as like how to be a good person and things like that. And that's about it. You
Yeah.
can walk away from it feeling good. It's something that you don't have to sit there and watch with your kid all the time because you're worried about what they're seeing.
Don't you feel like people get on Twitter just to get mad? They want to scroll through Twitter until they can find something to clap at.
yeah.
And I feel like that's what people are, critics and journalists like this Beverly Lang from the
Yeah.
ABC. They're just going on there looking for something to complain about, to be
Right.
offended by, to be
Right.
a victim. How am I going to be a victim today? When you could just be watching old 80s episodes of the Ninja Turtles and be like, that was awesome. That was awesome.
That's where I was
You know?
at. I was definitely doing that.
Yep. That was by far and away our favorite cartoon. I had, two brothers,
yeah.
and we were all Ninja Turtles, and we all picked the Ninja Turtle that.
Yeah, I
you
like
know,
those
Which
too.
one? Which one were you always?
I was Leonardo.
Were you?
Had to be.
Which
I was
color was he?
Blue.
Okay.
He was the leader.
And
What
I
were
was the
you?
oldest.
Mike was always my favorite.
He's
Because he was goofy?
He was fun.
a
and-
party dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I like Mike. Mike was my second favorite. That's
Which one was the one with the glasses?
Donatello.
I was going to say the nerdy one, but that's
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
very nice
They all
to
had their
say.
roles.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. He was the.
But don't you think now people could pick apart that?
Oh,
Well,
they
we
do.
shouldn't have this,
Oh,
this, and
yeah, they
this.
could
I
pick
mean,
apart
so
anything.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Ninja Turtles are just so powerful and so cool and original that they've been relaunched like 100 times.
Yeah.
and they do tweak it. And I'm actually excited to see the new movie come out.
Those
this
are
They're
summer.
another
putting
new one?
another one? Oh, I liked the last one.
There's a lot of really big names and really good creators. That
When's this
that-
coming out?
This summer.
Shut up.
And
How did we not know about this, Ben?
I tweeted it out, guys.
Gee.
You guys,
Did
you guys need to follow.
We
on
are
Twitter.
not good. I shouldn't say we. I'm not good on Twitter at all.
But they made some subtle changes, and okay, fine.
It's going to be good though.
You know, it's going to be really good. Like Seth
so does it
Rogen's
pick up
in
from
it.
where it was
yeah.
last at?
No, they're teenagers.
Wasn't with Megan Fox or whatever? Wasn't she in that one?
No, that's a relaunch that even your Ninja Turtle fans had.
They didn't like that one.
I don't know.
I liked that one.
Yeah, it was Michael Bay. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was
Okay,
like,
so
once
you're
again,
talking about like the real cartoons coming out.
well, it's a new type
Animated.
of animation.
Okay.
But they're a younger Ninja Turtle. They're just getting into their teenage years, from what I can tell. And
Oh, they're going to be feisty then.
yeah,
Those
I think
teenagers.
I think it looks like a lot of fun. I think John Cena's in it. I mean, there's a
Yeah.
all-star cast, and I think it's going to be pretty funny from what I've seen.
Okay.
And-
But now you got to tell me what the hot water the Simpsons are in.
Oh, they. This has been going on for a while. They're just extremely racist.
Is that what people
Oh
say?
my God.
But they don't care. They keep still doing it.
No,
right?
they've taken a poo off. They've gotten rid of a lot of characters.
Oh, they have?
Did they?
A big problem in Hollywood's trying to virtue signal this way too, and Disney's followed suit. If you're going to have a black character that's animated, it has to be played by a black actor.
Person. Oh, okay.
And so Apu, that's Frank Azar. You know, starters, I think he's Indian.
Hank Azaria.
Hank Azaria.
And so he's
Well,
not black, so he can't play that character.
It says he was in Friends.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's been in a million things. He's a really funny comedian. But he did a ton of different voices for them, and obviously he's not all the different races of the characters
yeah.
he played. So that's a big problem with Simpsons, and they finally got enough pressure. So
Bart's voiced by a woman.
that's okay though.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys, this is so dumb.
Always has been.
Yeah, I know. And once again, like, who cares? And I also think this is I don't know if I want to call it an argument, but okay, so now we are strictly basing who can play this part on the color of their skin. Since it's this character in animation, now if you're not this color of skin, you are not eligible to you actually have virtue signaled it back into what I would consider a racist type of casting. Like,
Yeah.
you have to be a certain color or of a certain nationality now to be. It has nothing to do with your merit, your talent, how you can fluctuate your voice, like Hank Azaria. You have
That's
to be a
ridiculous.
certain shade of color, your skin.
But could a black person be a white person?
Well,
Voice?
I mean, you're not technically. I mean, not,
Okay,
not the
I
way
just
this-
didn't know.
Not the way this unspoken or I don't know what you want to call it, rules have been set. You know.
Yeah, it
But
is kind of like
I find it crazy. You know.
Yeah.
And the best argument I've gotten back, like at the bar or whatever, is, yeah, you really sound like a white guy, a privileged white guy saying it like that. Like, no, isn't that just? Once again, you're throwing my skin color into it. Like,
Right.
why? What is going on here?
Yeah.
You know, I'm just saying, like, you're limiting who can play this part, not by their merit, not by their talents.
just by their color.
Yep, that gets them in the door.
But that's supposed to be respectful. Is that where we're at?
Inclusive?
But
Inclusive.
they
okay.
get no kudos for a woman playing a man.
None. No.
That's fine. Yeah. That's all right.
Okay, well,
So,
that is crazy.
other than Ninja Turtles, Ben, what was another one of your favorites? Mine was Ninja Turtles by far and away, but
100%. Yeah,
I
that
watched
was
a lot.
that was by far and away, and that was definitely at. I'm trying to think at that age. Man, there wasn't really. I don't know that there was any other cartoons I watched. Like I remember buddies watching like
You didn't watch like He-Man
yeah,
or
like
something
He-Man
like that?
or like
that was a
GI
little
Joe
earlier.
or something
little
like that.
earlier.
Yeah.
Both those were a little earlier.
Oh, okay.
I was
Yep.
not into either one of those
Mm-hmm.
for whatever reason. The Turtles just took off for me. But then as I got a little bit older, it became like it wasn't the cartoons. It was like the after school shows.
Oh, like Saved by the Bell and
Things
stuff
like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was a good
Which
one.
that is very. I think we talked about this maybe before. That show is quite sexual.
And see, that's the thing, and that's what.
If you-
Kelly Kapowski was pretty hot.
That's-
I mean, but if you like play those now,
But that's what I was getting at earlier when we were talking about, the Bluey thing and what kids actually see. I mean, we were kids watching that,
and we didn't see that.
We didn't see it.
No,
Yeah, it wasn't.
you're right.
That wasn't something that we were like, oh my gosh, I need to
Yeah.
go out and.
I mean,
do
of course,
this or
you
something.
thought maybe she looked good, or I thought whatever he was cute, but
Everyone.
it wasn't like
Every kid has some crush on
Yeah.
someone on TV or whatever. That's just natural. But we, now as parents and in this society that we live in now and all the things that we're hit with and also the different perspective because you're a parent and you're being more protective.
Right.
You watch it and you're like, oh, man,
You.
I'm not sure if he should
I don't
watch
know
that
about
or
that.
not.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. A couple of cartoons that I really got into, and now looking back at it, we would watch it, but we got way more enjoyment playing with the toys, making our own episodes.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Transformers, And then my favorite one was Voltron. Like that was really,
I don't even know what that is.
really cool.
I didn't watch that at all.
But that was in the same genre as like He-Man.
Yeah.
Where the toys were just awesome. You know, you got to be in a big robot cat, and then that cat, you'd put it together to make an even bigger cat. The Power Rangers totally ripped it off. Total rip
because
off.
I was going to say I know what Power
I
Rangers
remember
are, but
Power Rangers. I think my
Yep.
sister might have watched that.
That
and
was a
I'd
little
see it
after.
every now and then.
Yeah. Jared my younger brother was big into Power Rangers. But,
Yeah.
Voltron was first.
Voltron was awesome.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Voltron's been relaunched on Netflix, and I'm trying to get Ozzy to get into it.
Isn't that funny how you're like conditioning? Like, hey, do
need
you
to get into
think
the
that like
Voltron.
you will like this? So then Dad can sit and watch it too.
Is it the original like picture quality though, or is it like
It's a little
new
bit.
age?
It's new age, but they're very true to it. It's done in a way that it's still like anime, like the original Voltron. And the storylines are still kind of the same too.
Because what I'm
know.
getting at is that's the problem that we have is if we pull up even like an old Simpsons episode, like the
Oh, yeah.
all the original older episodes are you just know like that's
Yeah.
from the 90s or whatever.
Yep.
And then our kids don't want to watch
And
it.
they're like, oh, that's old.
It just looks
Just instantly, like it's old.
it looks
old.
so
Yeah.
much different. But I feel
Yeah.
like when they put like kind of the new visual spin on the stuff,
Yep, the
then
quick
the kids
cuts
will watch
and
it.
stuff like that. Like Nickelodeon relaunched Ninja Turtles back in whatever it was 2012, and I didn't. My nephews watched it a lot, and that's the toys we would buy them for Christmas and stuff. I didn't even like how they like really accentuated their personalities out so much so to where like Leonardo was always bickering with Raphael. Like they're just always at odds with each other. It's like, man, like yes, they had their personalities, but back in the day. It was just like an undertone, and they really got along, and the focus was on, defeating Shredder or Bebop or Rocksteady. Like it wasn't, but you're making me feel unincluded, Raphael. Like,
Right.
yo, why are we focusing on them bickering?
Yeah, and that's funny because when we were kids, like I always hung out with a group of guys, and we would do that. We would go out and like act out the cartoon.
Right.
We would
Yeah.
be the Ninja Turtles. We'd be running the field. We made our own like nunchucks and
Sure.
wooden swords and shit, and we're running around doing things.
Yep.
And it was just like what we saw on TV. We were just a team.
Yeah.
We were out
Yep.
bashing dandelions or something, and,
Right.
and we were all had the same
Yeah.
goal. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking at one of them saying, "Oh my gosh, you didn't let me hit that first or something." You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like that just wasn't a thing.
Michelangelo, you need to focus on the mission at task and quit having such a good time.
Yeah,
No, it's just kind of an evolution of things. But there's still, I would say, compared to when we were at, there's so many more options, and there's still a lot of really good ones. Like we brought up with Bluey, it's a really good one. And of course, when you get as big as they are, toys in Walmart and
Yeah.
Target, you're gonna have haters, and that's just
Sure.
that's the way it's always been. It's just that those haters have a platform now, whether it's Twitter or whatever, and they're a little louder. And I think like when CNN or MSNBC or even Fox News picks it up, that generates clicks, and then it all feeds into the machine. Even when people know it's wrong, they're still going to say like, I don't know about this Bluey character. It's like, oh man.
I'm surprised it's a Disney one though.
Well,
'cause not
Disney
that-
picked it up from this Australian
Okay.
broadcasting company.
Hopefully they're gonna stay true to, and
Yeah.
not get
yeah,
Disney-fied.
as far as
Just made up a word.
from what I've seen, and that sounds like a real thing though. Bluey's like, no, we're not getting into that. We're just a
I mean,
fun little
Bluey
cartoon.
is a dog, so he could
It's a blue healer.
exactly,
And it's a she. That's how inoculate it was. Like I thought Bluey was a little boy with a little sister. I thought it was an older brother and a little sister, and I thought that was the family structure. I guess Bluey's actually a girl. Like, okay, like I didn't even
You
know
didn't
that
even know?
until I saw this article pop up. Like,
Bluey's not wearing like a pink little bow, and
no, she just goes out and plays with toys and has fun,
good.
there you go.
and her friends.
Yeah.
Wow, there you go.
I think the moral of the story here is that obviously stuff continues to change, and we're seeing all this like woke stuff. I mean, this is on everything anymore.
Yep.
Again, we talked about this a couple episodes ago. Like, it's the parents' responsibility. I mean, if we're talking
Yeah.
about kid shows,
Yeah.
it's the parents' responsibility to have those conversations first.
Yep.
you know, you can't stay on top of everything that they do. You know, people say like, oh, well, you know, I'm always trying to keep an eye. I'm always keeping an eye on what they're watching on YouTube. No, you're not. Like that, you just can't.
Right.
But you have to have some trust. You have to have the conversation with your kid. You got to be popping in every now and then, watching and seeing what they are doing.
Yeah.
When I came home yesterday, my son was watching YouTube, and it was this strange looking video. There's a girl sitting there, and she's talking. She's clearly being interviewed, and I could kind of feel like the drama in it and stuff. And I'm on the phone, and I looked at him and I pointed at the remote, and he hands me the remote, and I pushed pause so I could read what the title was. And it was a story about some girl having been kidnapped, and she's telling her kidnapping story. You know, and at this point, she looked like she was like 20 something. You know, but that's the point, is you got to do that. You got to see what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, and then after I got on the phone, I'm like, is that really the best thing to watch, man? You know, and
Right.
he realizes like they're paying attention. You know, you have to, and on the other hand, he needs to be aware of real life, you know,
Sure.
whatever.
Yeah.
But the point is you've got to be involved. This stuff's going to continue to come out, and all you can do is you're not going to stop it. We're not going to stop it. No one's going to stop it. There's going to continue to be haters. There's going to continue to be people that think something like Bluey is racist or not inclusive enough or whatever.
Non-inclusive.
It's just how it's going to be. Pick what you like, roll with it.
There you go. I like that. A little freedom there, right?
Yeah.
Little freedom. And
Understand, like we're talking about. We're adults now. We were kids. We were exposed to all these things that we just talked about in Disney and on The Simpsons and Saved by the Bell and all these kinds of
Lion
things.
King.
And we didn't grow up as some weirdos.
Yeah.
We barely even saw it. You know what I mean?
And all these posts that are bashing Bluey, whether it's, you know, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, the overwhelming response, you know, comments are pro Bluey. Like, oh man, I'm a person of color. Get off Bluey's back.
Oh,
This
good.
is a fun little episode. So it's also where if it's not even, I don't feel it's a conservative movement. It's just people that like just
Right.
want the best for their kids.
For
Right.
sure.
You know,
Yeah.
that's all that's going on here.
Yeah.
So no, I couldn't agree with you more there, Ben.
Yeah. So I guess that I think about
That's
sums
that.
that one
Let's
up.
do it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think to close it out, just if we could ask folks again to get on, do some reviews on your Apple podcast. That's where you can leave a review.
There we go.
You can do the stars. Click on the stars for us. Same with Spotify. Do the stars. We
5
need
stars.
some more of that stuff
Yeah.
to get it to
Yep.
keep kicking off. But we definitely appreciate everybody listening.
Yeah, it's growing.
As I said earlier, it's fun to meet folks who listen and dig what we're doing. We're just common folk, man.
And shout out to Brisbane, Australia. Now, are you going to send a hat to Brisbane if we get a couple comments there?
If someone's in Brisbane
Sweet.
and they send a message to ben@farmfocused, FOCUSED.com, you got a hat, shirt, whatever the heck you want, man.
Hey,
you got it coming.
We are pro Bluey.
That's right. Pro Bluey. Pro Bluey.
Now I'm going to have to watch an episode.
All
Looks
right,
good.
cool.
All right, we'll
I
see you
think
guys.
That's about it.
All right,
Good.
peace.
See ya.
Later.